Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Dowley, and I alone stand between you and the person that you actually look forward to hearing from tonight. I'm sitting in the back room of the Boys and Girls Club, about to have my life changed forever. In walks a precocious young man. We chatted about our shared love of sports, took a quick picture that you saw earlier where I had the proverbial bunny ears. I never expected to be standing here before all of you 17 years later.
How would you describe your character? Who is Ray Davis?
Who is Ray Davis?
As Ray Davis checks into the game, he's the lone setback.
Over the course of those 17 years, a relationship was built over ball games, lots of burritos and pizza, and hours watching a young man absolutely dominate on the field of play and in the basketball gym.
Oh my God.
I always knew my son was gonna be a star.
His football intelligence, his spatial awareness, and of course he was fast.
He would get the ball, gone, take it to the house. Playing on defense, pick, six, over and over and over. It was unbelievable.
There were hardships for sure.
Where I grew up, not a lot of us make it out.
Everybody want to make it to the NFL. When I was your age, that wasn't my dream. My dream was just to survive.
We had some very tense conversations. We had a lot of phone calls.
Made in the backfield, down goes Davis.
He was having doors shut in his face and expectations so low.
Everybody else is waiting on the downfall, waiting on the disappointment and the failure. And I knew, okay, I can't let that happen.
A man has shown incredible resilience in the face of unbelievable odds.
But then I had a shift. I had to understand that I wanted to be something. I wanted to make it.
A man willing to be helped by the incredible support network that he alone built around himself.
Raymond just needs the opportunity.
You know, if he has these resources, what can he do?
Back to pass, blitz coming. Wide open, Ray Davis.
It felt like a sense of family when I was there. I didn't feel like an outcast.
45-50, 45-40.
A man that has achieved his dreams, built on sweat, grit, and the support of this amazing organization.
The Big Brothers Big Sisters program is designed specifically for that.
Still on his feet, he's gonna go.
There's one thing Raymond has done his whole life. He betted on himself.
Despite all of the hardship that he faced, he had a resilience that I've never seen before, and a drive and a desire to be great.
10-5, touchdown, Ray Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce you to a San Francisco native, and now number 22 for the Buffalo Bills, my forever little Ray Davis.
So like Patrick said, my name is Ray Davis. I was born in the great state of California, lived in the great city of San Francisco.
You know, being back home is it's a little bit crazy. You know, I think about all the memories I had, throughout the city.
It's just like Bay Bridge, you get into Oakland, Antioch, East Bay kind of way. And then over there is the Golden Gate Bridge.
Everything's it's a little different. I gotta use a GPS to get around.
Well, I was here in 2019 during Christmas break after the bowl game my freshman year. And then COVID happened. I didn't come home in 2020, didn't come home in 21, didn't come home in 22. Like, I just felt that, I wanted to still figure out who I was. I didn't go to high school out here, I didn't go to college here. I'm very independent. So it was outside of my family, there wasn't much to do. So I just chose to stay where I was at, but also it was the first time I had my own crib, my own spot. Didn't come back until draft time. And the draft was almost a year ago now? Yeah. So yeah, it would have been a year since I've come back home again. So you guys got me to come home.
Stan been my friend forever. And the same thing, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He's been cutting my hair since I was young. Still cutting my hair to this day.
It's a kind of a generational thing. If I ever have kids that stand around, I'm gonna have Stan cut their hair too. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Stan, how long you been cutting hair?
Like 15 years. Yeah, 15 years, man. I started doing the pull-up thing a little later in my career and stuff. It kind of keeps some of these kids safe, you know what I mean?
Tenderloin in general, it's a rough area. On the daily, from elementary to middle school, I was seeing things that a kid shouldn't see.
That's where I saw fights. I've seen people get jumped. I've ran away from people.
We have a lot of people using drugs and just sleeping on the street. It's a lot of homelessness. Worst place to be at in San Francisco, to me.
I wanted to come up. I just got in town.
I know.
He's the head coach for Sacred Heart
How
Football.
y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's crazy, like we right in the middle. Down the street, it's tough.
We've been in a position where we've seen one of our best friends one day, and then the next morning we hear he gone. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
I lost maybe 12 friends in a 2.5 year span. I've been shot at, I got shot before, just in the streets, man, hanging out, thinking that's the cool thing to do.
This is the outcome that's gonna occur if I choose to go down that path.
I got stories for everything I see right now because I just ain't been this way in so long. You know what I'm saying? It's overwhelmed.
It's easy to get in trouble, and it's hard to get out, So I know firsthand. It was a struggle, from the jump. Just growing up without a dad. Mom was never there. Mom on drugs. I didn't have nobody come to my games.
That's really what it is around where we grew up in. You sink or you swim.
Me, I try to provide, but I was in the streets, doing the wrong things, and then I end up, getting incarcerated at an older age, and it took away from me from being with my kids.
But I was a boy just looking for a home. Foster care, homeless shelter, just looking for a place and someone to love me and someone to appreciate what I had to offer.
I made a mistake, and I just always think back to where Mom gave me a letter, and that letter stuck with me forever. That changed my life. He told me, that he didn't want to play football no more. And everybody else's dad is there, but I'm not there. And it hurt me because it was true.
For me, I'm a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks to see this, but this is why I wanted to get away. This is why I had fought.
That experience to me taught me early on also that it was about understanding my environment and wanting to be not the lone bright star because I wanted to bring people with me, but I wanted to be that bright star that everybody was like, damn, let's go follow that way.
It's my little sister Jayla, my twin, my mini-me, my brother LeVar. Well, we're coming to Kimball. Kimball's where it all started for me and VAR.
I never got to enjoy a kid's life. I grew up being an adult. Everything I thought about was survive, survive, survive. How do I make it to the next day? So I stepped up. I became a man and I took care of 2 siblings and a mother.
Yeah, Kimball, this is a spot. This is where Pop Warner football, coming here late night, just running around. This was the escape. This was my escape from everything. I'd hop on a bus, come to practice here for 2 hours, and then I just hop on the bus and go home.
Living in the house I lived with my mom, it was, unfortunately, we didn't have the resources. Kind of understanding that the cars that I was dealt with, I got to go out there and make something happen and, let's make something different happen. I
went to Boys and Girls Club right up the block here. Once you can get past this Golden Gate Park.
So I was at the Boys and Girls Club. When you walk through the door, they had all these flyers on the window leading up to the stairs as you go in. And I saw something and then, said Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And I'm like, man, I need to get put on the right path to succeed. At 8, I thought that, right? So I pick up the phone, I call. They said there's a wait list going on, we'll collect the information, yada, yada, yada. And fast forward, I don't know how long later, but I remember my social worker calling me yo, I'm gonna come pick you up. We went, we walked to this back room, and sitting there was Patrick.
In comes this little kid, big green eyes, big smile. He said, "Are you Patrick Dowell? Are you Patrick?" He said, "Yeah, I am Patrick." He said, "Man, you don't even know how long I've been waiting to meet you."
I was so excited to meet him. I've been waiting. I was on a waiting list for so long. I'm hanging out on a Sunday with this man who I thought was the greatest person in the world, but he still couldn't beat me at sports, so he wasn't that great.
And it was truly from that, I saw the confidence and I saw the desire to immediately build a relationship. From the first time we ever exchanged words, it was with a smile on our faces and with a laugh.
Man, that began a friendship that has never ended to this day. His boys are like my nephews. His wife, Cindy, I've been knowing her for multiple years too. That family just became someone I was able to gravitate to, and I think it was really the start of me and Patrick young. All my responsibility being an adult was washed away, and I got to wake up every Sunday, look forward to seeing Patrick. Whatever we did, that man put a smile on my face. That man taught me right from wrong. And then as I got older, you start to realize the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, yeah, we were part of that program, but this is so much deeper. This is family-based. I got to experience things with it I didn't get to experience. Baseball games, arcades. In short, I got to be a kid.
Cheers, dude. Great to see you. Cheers. Yeah. So this is the oldest restaurant in California. I remember early on when Ray and I were hanging out, I knew I had to introduce him here.
He was teaching me so many things, I'll be honest, right? And
Bringing him here was a little bit of a risk because I wasn't sure what he was going to eat.
more so just like when you get invited to a fancy place, you can't always order chicken tenders and cheeseburgers. You know, that was something he was always trying to tell me, like,
Ray would eat nachos, burritos, he would eat pizza, all of the above with a lot of sour cream on it.
it's like I'm used to eat Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, like, yo, you know, you go to these fancy steakhouses, man, you gotta try things.
But I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to eat tonight, and it's the same thing that I've eaten every time I've come here, something called deviled crab casserole. So it's Dungeness crab, so out here on the West Coast, it's crab season right now, so the crab is really fresh, and now this is my children's first time coming to Tadish Grill again, so sort of make a generational introduction to Tadish Grill.
He took me to places I experienced things. You know, he taught me about the sports, taught me about life, but he really just prepared me to be a man in terms of just understanding there will be difficult times and how you react to those difficult times will either make you a man or break you.
At the age of 12, I became a grown man. One of the most life-changing decisions I had to make.
As we started to go on our outings and do things, you know, you sort of lightly ask, you know, where's your mom, where's your dad? And, you know, you get different answers every time.
I'm sitting in a shelter. I got my little sister who's 7. I got my little brother who's 10 months. And I was faced with a decision. Hey, Ray, they just don't have room for you. But they got room for your sister and your brother.
And as he learned to trust me, I started to see the reality of the situation that he was in. You know, mom's going away. Mom's not coming back for a while. Dad's definitely not coming back for a while. Where am I gonna go next?
So I made the decision at 12 to say, hey, they can go live with her godmom and I'm gonna stay in the shelter.
From a very early age, he learned that he had to do it himself, but I can ask for help, and help will be available to me.
I was playing basketball. Well, me and Brad were on the same team.
We drove down to Santa Barbara, which is about 5 hours from here. And Ray was on Bradley's team. They had a great tournament.
I got a ride up there by a coach. I couldn't get a ride back. Kind of was asking around, kept asking around. I got to Brad, and I'm like, yo, like, can I get a ride? He's like, let me talk to my mom.
Can we take Ray? He's like, of course.
About 2-3 seconds, he comes back, he says, you can ride with us, but I'm gonna let you know. He's probably gonna ask you a bunch of questions.
And I basically said, if you don't want to answer, just don't give me any BS, because I can't stand that.
To this day, I'm pretty stand on it. It was 1,000 questions. And for the next 5-6 hours, she learned about me probably faster than anybody else had in my entire life.
He was very much like an adult. It was his story. It was, you know, confidential to him. But he was completely mysterious, and it wasn't easy getting through.
The whole drive, I was contemplating about letting her drop me off home. You know, I was embarrassed at that time. I was sleeping on the floor at my grandma's, so I wanted her to drop me off a couple blocks away, and I just hop on the bus and go, but she wouldn't take no for an answer, and fast forward, 10 years later, I'm sitting on her couch and calling her mom.
When I got incarcerated, you know, Ray's mom was going from house to house. So I got out, I had a plan. A relationship with my kids, and then get a job. As soon as I got out of jail, Laura, like, hit it off with me.
When I looked at Mr. Ray, that's when I found the thing that he was the football star at Galileo High School, and he had been in some trouble. Ray didn't know why, or he wasn't saying.
It took time. You know, it was like 3-4 years before I felt that I truly could call him my dad. It just became a bond that started to be formed, but it wasn't truly there yet.
Ray helped me out in life, you know, to make me become a better person and a better man. I told myself I'm gonna break that cycle. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for my kids. That letter is stuck in my head forever.
As we started to face trials and tribulations together, me going back into the system, him wanting to get full custody, me having the opportunity to go to boarding school, like, that's when the emotional connection started to come.
I put my pride away and like, hey, what can I do? And, you know, end up getting custody of Raymond and everything worked out. You know, I had to be there for my son. You know, life is good, you know.
Our relationship is at a point where it's open dialogue.
I still feel like I'm still better than you, though.
I don't feel like he was better than me, but he's there.
I'm better than you in baseball, better in soccer,
all the other sports,
better in basketball.
He had me.
I'm older now. We missed out on that father-son bonding, in my younger years.
Every time I watch him play, just think like that move right there, that's something I'll do.
Typically, people who aren't that good say that though.
So when we do hang out, I think he knows it's my son mentally is at a point in life where he's taken care of himself and he's comfortable with who he is and his skin, and like sometimes take a step back and not always have to play the father role. Sometimes I can play the role of being the listener and learning from him.
So Stan watch Raymond and Stan also watch me.
He's him to the max, to the 10th power. But they run like they run in our language is exactly the same.
We have a very similar background. You put our past together, it's just one of us had to grow up a lot quicker, while the other took a little bit of time, but then still went through some trials and tribulations.
Then when he had the opportunity to go to Trinity Pauling, his dad, Greg, Patrick, it took a whole big wave of people sticking together, and Mr. Ray was part of that.
Same question you just asked me was my thought process. Where is this place? What is this place and why?
When he went into Trinity, you probably know the story. He was recruited there to play basketball. Hey, coach, I can actually play a little bit of football too.
In the beginning, I was like, I don't want to go to New York. I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to have to go to church every morning. And I wasn't used to discipline. I was used to just survival mode.
I was skeptical because, I just got my son back. Because, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm trying to spend time with my son, but you don't want to, crush your son's dreams.
It was just the opportunity that was given to me that I knew nobody in my situation had.
The discipline, the dedication, things like that I feel like here, he would have never got.
And when I had the opportunity to go somewhere where it was teaching me a routine, I couldn't turn that down. Because I knew the outcome of what I was going to be if I didn't.
That's City Hall right here, and then this the courthouse right here.
Yeah, me and the state, it's so weird to say now, but it was me versus the state from probably the age 6 to about 15.
The state of California can't release a kid to another state if it's not to family. And when we were in the hallway, a guy came up and introduced himself as the attorney. We're gonna oppose it.
He's a minor. In California, they really don't want to let you do anything, outside of California.
And he got this offer, and it's a boarding school, and it's a fine school, and we thought he could succeed.
Having to sit there and hear people tell me we don't feel that you should be going there, you're not gonna have support.
It's just the state, to me personally, I feel like the system is broken. This case with Raymond should have been done a long time ago.
I was against many people, attorneys, social workers, judges.
We literally had a team of people.
The final battle came in that courtroom. And I just remember having the opportunity to finally speak. Like I had been holding it in for a little bit. I was scared, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna step up, I'm gonna talk.
And he made the most provocative speech.
And I told the judge, in reality, what support do I have around here? Bro, I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm sleeping on couches, sleeping on floors. I barely got places to be. What am I gonna do here that I can't have the opportunity to do there?
And it was just completely poignant. I was so amazed because he spoke so well.
The judge looked at me kind of crazy, right? I think everybody looked at me crazy in that room. How was he able to articulate and speak and vouch for what he wants to do? Because I've been in these situations. I listened to everybody else spoke for me, and now it was my turn to do that. So I think the judge saw how serious I was.
Raymond been in the system for so long when he shouldn't have never been there for so long, but it was a struggle. The judge understands, this is what this kid wants. He needs to make this happen, and we made it happen.
What a monumental moment that was. And for somebody of that age to have the confidence and the ability to speak and advocate for themselves is, again, just a testament to the man that he is.
Walked out and had the smile in the beginning, but mentally deep down, I didn't know how to feel. Because I knew the next chapter was, now that I had an opportunity to finally vouch for myself, I gotta make this thing work. TP, spending 3 years there was the best 3 years of my life because it taught me discipline. It taught me how to be a better person in terms of scheduling what I want, how to fight for myself. Football-wise, the competition was always fun. The competition was always great. Recruiting was super slow for me. I mean, I had no offers probably up to my senior year, like a lot of Division I AA's. And I felt that I was better than that. You know, not to say those programs weren't worthy of it. I just felt that I knew that I had the competitiveness to go and play at a higher level.
He went to Temple, Temple tough, he was Temple tough.
But then he started talking to me about transferring. He said, oh, Florida's calling and Georgia Tech is calling.
I need a fresh start. I need something new.
Vanderbilt called too, and I said, stop. Raymond, you remember how I've been talking to you about your whole life and you're gonna play football, but there's gonna be life after that? Go to Vanderbilt.
Being in Nashville was great. It was a great experience. And I remember putting my head down and going, I'm just gonna shock the world. I'm gonna get drafted. And 2022 came, I had a good season. I was like, I still got more left in the tank. Let's take this thing to Kentucky.
Former Vanderbilt running back Ray Davis signed with UK this past week.
This is the big time. They want you there and you're going to play. In fact, you're probably gonna be the guy.
No, I didn't think NFL was possible until being at Kentucky to the 5th game of the season.
That Florida game.
The famous Florida game that I had.
That's the game I missed, and I was here watching. I'm going crazy. Like, oh, I missed this game. I should have been there.
It was sort of a bit of a blur, but 4 touchdowns against Florida. Are you kidding me?
Holy smack, I think I could do this.
That was the day that it was like, oh my God, this is real. There's Sundays coming.
Good morning. It's draft day. We're nervous and we're excited, but we're gonna be ready.
Laura and Greg's house out of Discovery Bay. It was an awesome party. The draft is a multi-day affair.
We're pretty sure he's gonna go. It's a matter of when.
Everybody had sort of different expectations, sort of middle rounds, early middle rounds. Didn't quite happen on the first day, but then it became really, really real.
And I'm sitting back there looking up at the TV. I see some teams, and I saw the Bills traded up. And I was like, oh, I wonder why they traded up. It's weird, right?
All right, let's Washington. Ray Davis.
And as I'm talking to my agent, I looked down at my phone. I was like, 716. I'm like, what the heck is 716?
Hello.
Ray, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. You ready to get this thing going, get your ass to Buffalo?
Yes, sir.
His dad said, that's the perfect place for him.
Right place, great place. My son's like a humble person. He's humble because he's been through a lot, but it was amazing. I'm like, Buffalo Bills.
And I'm like, damn, I don't got no jackets.
The Buffalo Bills select Ray Davis, running back, Kentucky. Go Bills! Yeah!
It was a blessing because it was like all the hard work he done.
I cannot think of a better place for him to go.
He did it.
Just joyful, man, just happy he made it out of here. Because it was a struggle here, a struggle. And Raymond made it.
Once it happened, I got that call, I just started thinking about, okay, like, what's next now? How do I go in and show everybody that I am who I am and more ready, battle tested, and, you're going to get a guy who's ready to go. I knew coming into a team where, this was just a well-established winning culture, where what you do matters. How you do anything is how you do everything. That's how I felt being in the building. How you take care of your body, how you mentally prepare, how you meet with the coaches. And people will respect you more because they know you're coming in with a drive to want to help push to one goal.
Gotta go. Eyes. Hey, baby.
Joe Brady, one thing he said to me was just be you.
Take the out. I got the out. Good job, Ray. Atta baby.
That's our saying. Be who you are with us. And what you bring to the table, we will make sure that is shown to the world.
Fighting his way to the goal line, and he is in. Ray Davis with his first career touchdown.
So beautiful. I love the flyovers. I'm gonna have to show you a video. In high school, I kicked a 54-yarder. Our whole
team was my best buddy. We spent a lot of time together when we first came in, going to these trips and just hanging out and developing a relationship.
Okay. I don't know. I just like the Bob, though. You know what I'm saying?
I got very close to our rookie class, being in the running back room. James, Ty, I spent a lot of time with those guys.
You thought I said I was gonna get him some McDonald's? No, I said him get me some McDonald's. Look, Look, Keith.
Keon's my dog. That's my travel roommate. So like, I speak to him more than anybody, but when you got Keon always asking what's your fit you wearing and he comes out with something crazy, you know you got to step.
Glad to have you with us, Bills Mafia, as we welcome you to Monday Night Football here at MetLife Stadium.
Throughout that game, I told myself to just go out there and have fun.
Ray Davis checks into the game. He's the lone setback.
I actually want to show you this play if you don't mind.
Yeah.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Allen takes the snap, back to pass, looking left. Now has to roll out of the pocket. Flags fly.
When that moment occurred of Josh scrambling out, I was like, I don't think he can see me because I'm short. So I'm like, maybe if I keep running, he'll see me.
Allen able to get out of the end zone and fire. He's got his man, and a juggling catch by Ray Davis.
Holy mackerel! Ray Davis, the rookie, with an acrobatic play into Jets territory.
When I celebrated, the first thing I thought was like, damn, we're gonna get a penalty because McDermott just told us about spiking the ball after plays. And luckily it wasn't.
Davis slips a tackle at the 10. Davis at the 5. Davis, touchdown!
Having the fans embrace me has been cool. Bills Mafia, I was like, this is something I grew up in. You know, people going crazy, people doing things that they didn't necessarily care.
Davis, room to roam.
People jumping through tables, fans being diehards. Like, I loved it. I embraced it. It was family. It was like home. It's a sense of home.
Ray, the pile driver, Davis.
Like a bowling ball out there, breaks 4 tackles on the play.
It makes you feel like you're on a whole different level because you're able to make somebody's Sunday. They spent their hard working money to come watch you play, right? You gotta give them a show.
And he's off to the races, and the Bills have recaptured the lead.
What we got here?
Check that out.
Oh my God.
I got to do My Calls, My Cleats, my first season in the NFL.
Who's that?
Who's that right there?
Dad, Raymond.
Yeah, you see, he had a big old head back then too.
Being when I was young and having Patrick and like I said, being able to be a child, that's all I wanted. That's the smiles, the giggles, the moments. Like that's what you want when you're young. Everything that he's done for me, I wanted to do something for him my entire life.
It's kind of the first time that he's ever surprised me. I had no idea that he'd chosen the picture. I had no idea that it was gonna be on the cleats. I truly didn't see them until down on the field in the dumping snow. And, you know, I joke about it, you worry about snow, it's like, oh my God, it's gonna be a nightmare, but it was awesome. I mean, it was the true Buffalo experience.
To him, he'll tell you, me graduating high school, me graduating college, me being in the NFL, that's all he ever wanted to see, to make sure that I achieved the dream I set forth for myself throughout the years he's been with me, right?
Spinning to the 5, it'll be first and goal.
But I felt that that wasn't special enough. That wasn't a shown thank you from me.
Just 15 seconds left here in this first quarter.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
We were in that end zone. We were right above the tunnel. Unbelievable atmosphere. They're coming our way. They're lined up. He's in. It's like, oh my God, this might actually happen.
Handoff goes to Davis. Gonna bounce it outside.
Got the ball, and Ward was trying to get him on the angle, and just he was too fast.
Race to the pylon, and he dives into the end zone.
And here comes the snow confetti from the stands.
What an unbelievable experience.
And to be able to have his boys there, his wife, and to be able to just see them share a bonding moment as a family.
On that stage, with that crowd, in that snow, you know, just magical. Absolutely magical. Full circle moment. Never been happier to see the Niners lose in my life.
That was finally my thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Everybody that was involved in making that man my big, I thank each and every person here. What, 17 years? Can we get a round of applause? 17 years! It's cool to just see. I think also for people to just see the path wasn't easy.
Your mom's a celebrity around here. You know, all the people around here knew like this, that kid.
They don't even call me, like, you know, I'm Raymond. Like, I grew up here. I grew up in this environment.
When he plays on Sunday, the whole city tunes in. He's our hood hero.
Handoff goes to Davis, lowering his head, and he is in. Ray Davis, the rookie.
I hope my story inspires anybody who wants to become anything.
Everybody here today wants to see somebody grow, wants to see somebody become great, wants to be able to push them to a new life that they never thought they could achieve, right?
I think with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, that's exactly the path you should want to go on. No matter what situation you're facing, you can attack that.
Just having him here, they see that you can make it if you do the right things.
Whatever dream you got, take it, run with it.
It's that drive that he has. It's not just a football thing, it's a life thing.
I ain't just no football player. I'm trying to be in my community. I'm trying to take care of these kids that nobody took care of like when I was young. And this is the chance right here.
I bet on myself. It's the biggest how, right?
He had a vision and he had a plan, but he took complete responsibility for everything.
He never gave up. Like, it's my son right there, and he made it.
Now I just feel like I'm along for the ride and somebody that's going for it.
I want my story to touch a wider base. I want them to see that no matter what, he fought through it all, and I can do the same.
This kid cares. He really does. He's already made it, and it's just the beginning.
Without Patrick, without this organization, without these beautiful people sitting here today, I kid y'all not. When I was 8, I got to learn how to smile. And I'm gonna keep smiling to the day I die. And this family will be next to me each and every step of the way.